Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. And Shabbat shalom. And please be seated.
The Sabbath has descended to enfold us in its mantle of peace. It brings to us the precious gift of time to embrace family and friends, to reflect more deeply on the meaning and purpose of our lives, and to worship in the beauty of holiness. May our Sabbaths always be sanctuaries of love and devotion, bringing contentment to our hearts, happiness to our homes, and blessing to our people.
Eternal One reigns, let the earth rejoice.
Let the many isles be glad.
Clouds and darkness surround you.
Righteousness and justice are the foundation of your throne.
Your lightnings illumine the world.
Earth sees and trembles
Mountains melt like wax before you, O God.
before the ruler of all the earth.
The heavens proclaim your righteousness.
And all the peoples behold your glory.
Zion hears and is glad.
The daughters of Judah rejoice in your judgment.
For you are supreme over all the earth.
You are exalted far above all other gods.
Light dawns for the righteous.
And joy for the upright in
Let
heart.
the righteous rejoice in you.
And give thanks to your holy name.
Turn to page 92. Page 92, and please rise. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach, le'olam va'ed.
Praise the one to whom our praise is due.
We praise the Eternal One, to whom our praise is due forever.
Please be seated. We continue together. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening fall.
ויחבת אל תעשו, ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol ma'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavecha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shokbecha v'kuvmecha. U'shartam le'ot al yadecha. V'hayu letotafot beinenecha. U'chtabtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'isharecha.
למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם.
I just need to point out that this isn't a domestic that's going on here. Just actually rather part of an ongoing wonderful story. A story which continues through generations. When I opened my Siddur this evening, it was to a saying within Pirkei Avot, the sayings of our sages, which talks about how we pass down our traditions. Now, Jeff, on the occasion of your special birthday, it's not necessarily that it's Torah all the time that you necessarily pass down, as in Torah study or anything else like that, but it actually is about the way that we live our lives, the way that we live our lives within family, and that we do pass down our tradition and heritage from generation to generation, and you have exemplified in that with your children as well. But it's also about how we live within community. There is certain households that I know that I can always turn to and that are ever present within our community. And the Craft household is one of those that I have grown up and have the privilege to live life with. We're going to read in a moment a section of the service called Geula, Redemption, which talks and has at the center Moses, Miriam, and the Israelites crossing the Sea of Reeds. And, well, there are times when you've needed to cross a Sea of Reeds in your life as well. And you have done that, supported and lovingly by your family, but also community and good friends as well. So on the occasion of your birthday, we do ask God to bless the years ahead, just as nearly all of the years have been blessed in the past. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God reach out to you in tenderness and always bring peace to you in your life. Happy birthday. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
And if you want to close the ark,
If you
and
can.
then our congregation will be
Make sure you walk
seated.
further.
And when we go through to Kiddush afterwards, then you can ask Jeff exactly how young he is.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
And so on page 95.
All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we're Israel, your people. You freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt, forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together.
Mi kamocha ve'im Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseferet. Adonai imlo ve'olam va'ed.
For Nehemiah, and it has been said, the Eternal One has delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves.
We praise you, O God,
Redeemer of Israel.
Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
Grant, eternal God, that we may lie down in peace, and let us rise up to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your wise counsel, and for your name's sake be our help. Shield us from sickness and from war, from famine and distress, and keep us from wrongdoing. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are our guardian and deliverer, a gracious and merciful God. God, our going out and our coming in, that now and always we may have life and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'yakov, yoshvei tevel.
Please rise.
Adonai, sefata tivta, ufia gitehilatecha. Adonai, sefata tivta, ufia gitehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth shall declare your praise. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth shall declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu,
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarai, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'hanura, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imachot, U'mevii Go'ola Livnei V'leihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Hozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Gibor Le'olam Adonai, B'chaim Eitim Ata Rav L'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh U'Morid HaTal, Machalkel Chaim B'Chesed, B'chayim Eitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Makayem Emunato L'Sheni Afar, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gevurot, U'mi Domelach, Melech Memit U'Mechayei U'Masmiach Yeshua, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים.
קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, ואין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך.
ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית העולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Together at the top of page 100. Our
God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments, and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth.
In
In your gracious love, eternal one, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts,
and may
and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace.
We
Praise you, O God,
for the holiness of the Sabbath.
רוצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, שאותך לבדך, ביראה נעבוד.
We continue. We give thanks
Thanks
that you,
to-
Eternal One, are our God.
As you are the God of our ancestors, you are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives which are in your hand,
for our
for our
souls which are in your keeping, for the
the
signs
of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God,
source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Shalom.
ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך הגדול לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך הגדול לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
This evening, as Paul, myself, and Pip turned on to try to join with our community in Lutsk, we were only joined by a couple of people. We've been unable to make contact. We don't quite know what was going on there, but there were about 4 or 5 elderly people. And, well, we don't speak Ukraine as much as Paul tries. And there wasn't a lot of English going on either. But we just sang with each other. I don't know how many miles between us, but we sang. We understood the word Shalom Alechem, and so we just sang. And then we took it in turns to sing the verses, and we don't know whether you're on with us right now, but if you are, then these words are for you. Baruch atah Adonai, Osei HaShalom. Let us pause for a few moments for our own thoughts.
Say shalom begroma, say shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol bnei Adam.
This week's Torah portion is Mishpatim, and I haven't counted, but it contains perhaps more mitzvot, more commandments than any of the other sedras. Maybe you studied that in Parashat HaShavua this morning.
My team definitely worked out it was the most already.
Yeah.
How many negatives, positives, and all the rest as well.
It starts with the rules you have to follow when you take a slave, the death penalty for insulting your mother, building regulations.
Didn't it say when you insult your father as well, or was it just mother?
Well, okay. You shall not put a curse on the chieftain of your people. I'm sure Putin would love that one. Not eating treif, and so it goes on and on. It's a potpourri of fascinating ideas about how we should live our life and order our society. And as if that was not Dayenu, if we were Orthodox, tomorrow morning we would take out another Torah scroll and read another passage from the book of Exodus that gives its name to this very special Shabbat called Shabbat Shekalim. We'd read Exodus 30, verses 11 to 16. It was fixed as a Shabbat before the start of the month of Adar, the month containing Purim. If Aaron decides, and I suspect he hasn't decided, to read the extra Torah portion tomorrow, it will tell you that when you carry out a census to count the numbers of men aged 20 and over who are eligible for the army, then each man must pay half a shekel, putting it in the communal pot. And to do so, it says, as a ransom for his soul. And it then goes on to say, the rich shall not pay more, nor the poor less. It's half a shekel for every eligible man. It's a curious way of counting, but maybe that was done to avert the bad luck that was believed to come if you count people, count tokens instead. And if you think about it, it was all a bit unfair. The rich and the poor paying the same. Half a shekel to the rich man might be peanuts, but difficult for the poor to even raise. Yet, of course, it had to be this way if a correct total was to be arrived at for the army. Mind you, it always reminds me of Mrs. Thatcher's poll tax. That was her undoing. It never seemed to be fair to tax the poor at the same rate as the rich. And of course, you could say that this intriguing passage is just one example of the invention of new taxes, going way back, taxes that never seemed then to go away. And where was the shekel money to go? The passage concludes, assign it to the service of the sanctuary. And once the temple was built, you could justify it as a way of repairing the building and paying for the everyday needs But when the temple was destroyed by the Romans in 70 CE, the Emperor Vespasian insisted that the tax should still be collected, but paid this time to the upkeep of the Temple of Jupiter in Rome, a tax called Fiscus Judaicus that evidently continued until the 3rd century. Of course, as I said, taxes never seem to be abolished. And the Mishnah, codified in 200, actually has a whole tractate on shekalim, this minor mitzvot, this minor sort of idea, and yet there's a whole chunk of discussion about the shekalim. I noticed the opening verse of that Mishnah says, on the first of Adar, they give warning that the shekel is due, and on the 15th of Adar, they read the Megillah, the scroll of Esther, and that's the meaning later given to the Shabbat. It tells us that Purim is coming in 2 weeks' time, and it is said a collection should be made so that all, rich and poor alike, can have a good party. And the Mishnah intriguingly continues, and it then goes on to say, the money is used to repair the paths and roads and pools of water. Is there anything new under the sun as we suffer at this moment from temporary traffic lights as our roads and water pipes are mended? But there it is, it goes way back then. But the Mishnah's explanation is that the roads needed mending at the beginning of Adar so that the pilgrims coming to Jerusalem for Pesach would have an easy journey. So Shabbat Shekalim is a warning that before we know it's Purim, it's also Pesach, the more important festival that comes. So time to get ready for that one as well. If the Romans could change the focus of the tax collection, using it for their own purposes and actually in an insulting way, then modern Jewry has, in a way, followed suit, though hopefully not so cynically. Many an organization has used the peg of this special Shabbat to urge its followers to pay for their own charity. And indeed, of late, the number of charities has risen immensely and continues to do so. Established causes and mainstream charities have been subdivided by personal interests, by personal sad stories sometimes. It's difficult to know how to react. I recall my late father-in-law becoming immensely troubled by the Daily Post, often with a number of different charity appeals. All of them were worthy, but how to respond, which one was more worthy than the other? Beyond the local issues of illnesses and homelessness and poverty that are actually addressed in various places in the Torah, including this week's portions, and in our historic Jewish literature, we of course now face global issues unseen by our ancestors in ancient times. And we can't watch or read the daily news without graphic pictures of countless people suffering due to wars and now due to natural disaster. All need our help, but how to respond. My father-in-law's grandson, just over there, Rabbi Goldstein, has written an excellent piece in this week's Jewish News, urging us to consider giving as a response to the current global disasters to world Jewish relief. And I read that at this very moment, it has teams ensuring that best use of the donations is made in all of the countries where there is suffering, be it suffering of Jews or non-Jews, not Jews and non-Jews, yes, in Ukraine, and to those made homeless in Syria or Turkey, and at the same time, to those made destitute by the famines in Africa. Yesterday, I got an appeal from World Jewish Relief, and it said that they are actively working at this moment with the International Blue Crescent Organization in both Turkey and Syria, direct targeted help, Jews and Muslims working together. Shabbat shekalim, the mitzvah was to give half a shekel, not a shekel, to give some of your money, but not the lot, but give. And World Jewish Relief is a special one at this very moment. Amen.
If you need details of how to donate and so not too sure, please let me know. And also, of course, you do need to come next door with a shekel, and it's part of the sweepstakes as to what my outfit's going to be for Purim, which is a dressing up festival. So in the office, Rabbi Leah said, you have to get Rabbi Aaron an outfit. He can't get away with the same old tardy kind of stuff that he was wearing. So we do have a proper outfit. You're going to have to sort of like guess what it might be. The most important thing, I guess the clue is think jazz songs. Okay, think jazz songs, you might just get there. Anyway, we'll leave it at that and turn to page 520. Page 520 for our concluding prayers. And when you found them, please rise. Aleinu l'shabach la'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגורלנו להמליך מלכותו.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory fills the highest heavens. Whose might extends throughout all space, who alone is our God, for no other exists. Who in truth is our sovereign, for there is none else. As it is written, know then this day and take it to heart. The Eternal One is God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is no other.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat, we recall the yahrzeits remembered in our community of Lionel Seymour, the father of Anthony and Tessa Essex and father-in-law of Linda, Estelle Zeffman, the mother of David, Clive Austin, the husband of Barbara, John Goldberg, the brother of David, Alice Stralish, the mother of Jill Ter Hovanassian and grandmother of Greg and Sylvia, Shirley Mablin, the grandmother of Katie Bain and Gemma, mother of Graham, Mildred Shorts, the mother of Rosamund Taylor, grandmother of Gabriella, Cassie, Julia and David, and Denise Jones Simonis, mother of Hazel Can. And this afternoon, on my normal phone calls, I was about to pick up the phone to Myrna Berman. You probably don't know Myrna, and I don't think that Lorraine and Paul are going to be with us this evening, I'm guessing. But I used to call Myrna pretty much every Friday afternoon. She was on my list of people to call. And she sadly died this week, and I very much think of her and all of those families who are in mourning at this moment in time. So we join our voices together as one community. Page 524. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mavarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnasei. V'tada v'talei v'talal shemei t'kodesha berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran balma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru. Amen. May the Most High, source of perfect peace, grant peace to us, to all Israel, to all humanity, and to all those who mourn. Let us say, Amen. Please be seated. If you're on our live stream and want to join our Kiddush Zoom room, please do. Dad is going to take everybody next door to make Kiddush while I stay and welcome people into our room. So please do come and join. I'm pretty sure that David is there to wish good life to as well. This week we've got a number of highlights. One is quite a lot of our activities are coming back in-house again. Not every week, but some weeks. This week we have yoga on Tuesday morning with Diana. And those of you who know Diana, most wonderful teacher and fantastic soul. If you need it, it's armchair yoga. If you're willing to be a little bit more energetic, then you can get up and do whatever you wish to do, guided by Diana, a really chilled out hour. This Tuesday evening, we have our Hebrew classes starting up again. And I have had the fastest group ever learning from scratch, which means that I'm bereft of a group from scratch. So I'm probably going to start up again after Pesach. If you're interested in learning from zero, I guarantee I can get you reading, I don't know about the summer, but pretty much. Were you looking at Cal? Get you reading pretty quickly. So please let me know if you would like to learn from scratch. Something that is quite a unique thing this week, on Wednesday morning at approximately 8:50 a.m., you might be able to join Rabbi Leah, if her phone hasn't been taken away, with women at the wall at the Kotel at the Western Wall. So if you're interested, again, details in your weekly emails to join up with Rabbi Leah. We've also got next week our Tot Shabbat starting 9:30 a.m. and then beginning of March, 2 courses, one with sessions around the State of Israel, and of course we're coming up to the 75th anniversary of the State of Israel, a couple of sessions for you to join, and also a new course of ethics together with Ark Synagogue and our Bristol and West Synagogue. I'll let you figure out why on earth we ended up with them, or that combo. But for now, we are going to conclude with Yagdal, which is on page, I'm out of practice of
526.
Thank you, 526. A Moroccan Turkish melody.
Yigdal Elohim Vayish Shabbat Nimtza v'yeter Mertziuto Echad ben Yachid Kayihudo Ne'elam b'gameso ve'ahduto Elon Dalotako ve'enogu Lo na'aroch elav
Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Eternal God, grant strength to your people. Eternal God, bless your people with peace. Amen.
Shabbat shalom to you all.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom for all of those joining us now, and please do continue to do so from our live stream. Shabbat shalom to all of you, and please come next door with Dad for Kiddush and to greet each other. It's wonderful to have so many people from so many different places together as well. You could hear how excited Amira was. So Amira, you're going to come say hello to everybody. Paul's with me, not with you. Paul is normally around with us as well. So please come next door, and mazel tov to Jeff and to family as well. And thank you to all of our wonderful singers. Wonderful to see you, Ali. I hope you've had a good day. Fantastic. I need to get my cup. Here's my cup. I actually need some wine as well. I might dive down and get some wine. I'll be back with you in 2 seconds. Shalom.